I just want to end off this mini series of videos, with this beautiful white background, green screen, talking a little bit about computer science education. So I think it was, a little over a year ago, I posted an article on Medium talking about how computer science classes should replace math classes, and I still strongly believe that should be the case. Not for the skills, but for the logical thinking that is developed in a computer science class. Of course, with the emergence of vibe coding, AI agents, all of that jazz, majoring in computer science is very, 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 very competitive. Succeeding in computer science as a major and getting a job. It's the lead coding, it's the this, it's the that. It's crazy. It's hell. So I don't really believe that it is viable to be a CS major now and in the near future. I don't really see it. Of course, I'm still in high school, so if I end up being a CS major, then I am just crazy. You never know. But I strongly believe with what I said in that article. Even with AI becoming so advanced, like we've never seen before. And the reason why is because I'm a math guy. I am so good. I'm really good with calculus. Linear algebra, sure. But I'm really good with high abstract levels of math. But when it comes to even simple DSA problems, I struggle. It's because my logic is flawed. For example, whenever I implement a linked list or like recursively implement like binary trees and stuff like that, it's always some logical error, like the root, right? What if the root points to null, or what if the head case with linked list? It's like these logical issues that I have always put me back. And it makes me overthink the problem because that overthinking is what got me very good at math. But with CS, the logic is very straight. It's very direct. It's very much like this is the answer. This is the answer, and it can be proven logically. I have not seen such a thing tested out, at least in the variety of math classes that I've taken. I've taken the lowest of the lowest of math classes, and I've taken the highest of the highest. I've been in a variety of math classes, and I can tell you that I've never been tested as rigorously as I have in a computer science class. I strongly believe that computer science classes are much more, built for the future. But this comes to the question of, okay, what about the skills, the programming language? Why are you saying that? Like, are you saying that is what will serve you for the future? Absolutely not. No, I literally was just talking about a CS major. Like you may be really good at DSA. You may excel in all these leak code problems. You may do really well in DSA and in your data structures and stuff like that. But actually using that in your career is just no. No. I mean, like, you will be working with AI agents, even in the back end, right? Where all this DSA comes into play. It's just the skills, no. I don't think the skills themselves. But I think that the logical thinking, the problem solving that you get out of a CS class is really what will help you. That is the key. And so that's why I think that I highly emphasize primary school level, secondary school level, high school level computer science classes should be the primary problem solving / math class. I have never been challenged, and this is my own opinion from my own experience, from being at the lowest in math to being at the highest in math. I've seen it all. I've never been tested. I've never been as challenged as I've never been so challenged in a class. It really tests your logic. I still believe, even as advanced as AI gets, that computer science classes should stay up until high school, and then it's from there, it's, now apply this logical thinking into other stuff. And I want to reiterate, and this is coming back from my previous video, please watch that, a practical take on AIED. Giving students practical problems. I think that this is an easy, tangible way, before getting to that stage where we're giving students problems that not even AI can solve, as just a foundation for problem solving. I think that this serves as the foundation for problem solving. Because while yes, in AI can easily solve the problem, it's not about the skills, it's about approaching that particular problem. It is about approaching that, it's not about approaching that particular problem with those particular skills, it's about how you did it in the first place. It's about how you applied it. It's about your thought process. And that is what will help you. That is the foundation. And I love math. I love math. I find math so interesting, incredibly interesting. But from the practical standpoint, I think that computer science just is more practical. Not for the skills. I think the skills are going to be as impractical as doing the limit definition, right? Like, it's good for conceptual understanding. It's really good for that, right? For interest, or if you're in a specific field, right? If you're in math, like you're an engineer, like derivatives, integrals will come into play. But the practicality, right? It's about the problem solving. It's about the logic. And I think that the true test of logic comes from the computer science class. Or even more is like a discrete math class. A discrete math class is really just the pure logic in computer science with, like, of course it's a branch of mathematics. Stuff like that is really the true test that will prepare us for the future, as a foundation. And then we can get to more complex problems that are actually abstract, but still require a logical process, using the resources that can do the abstract thinking for you, but being able to logically implement those resources is what is super duper crucial. And so that's where I still strongly believe in what I said in that Medium article, which is the fact that computer science classes better prepare students for for the future, especially in this world with AI. Again, this is my own personal opinion, my own perspective. There is no research that I've done regarding this, although I may plan on doing it. This is from my own experience. And whatever, ethos I have established, right, from my experience as a student and as a person who is pretty well involved in the AIED community. This is just my opinion. I still stand with what I said in the Medium article, 100%, but not necessarily for the specific skills, right? Like knowing how to hash a hash table, stuff like that. Like, it's about how you do it. It's about the logic. That is what I think it's really about. And that serves as a good foundation for these problems that not even pasting into your AI agent, it's able to solve it. But using multiple AI agents, using multiple resources, using all the resources logically using resources, that's what's important. And so I stand with it. That is my take.